have to make dua for someone publicly, that's not making dua for anybody. If one of you got up and said, hey bro, I make dua for you, may Allah guide you. That's actually not making dua for me, that's insulting me. That's telling everybody else, man, you are so messed up, I hope Allah fixes you. Because you're beyond hope. You look like, other than divine intervention, you're a lost cause. Right? That's not how you correct someone. If this is sincerely correcting, then the way we do that is the same way you would correct your son, or your daughter, or your friend, or your neighbor. You wouldn't do it publicly. You wouldn't do it in front of others. You wouldn't do it in a way that embarrasses someone. You wouldn't do it in a way that's dismissive of someone. And you know what tafarruq does? Oh, I know this group. I know what they're about. Really, you know every single member of this group. And you know that all of them think exactly the same way. And your criticism of one of them is the same as the criticism of all of them. Tell me, are people always thinking the same way, or each individual is different? Aren't they different? But you know what tafarruq does? It lets you make sweeping judgments about an entire group with one statement, I know what they're about. And in your mind, that's the other fun thing. People call these groups and these names, and a lot of times the people you're calling that name, they don't even identify with that name. They're like, you made me a member of this club, I never even heard of it. You signed me up for it on your own, you know? Allah says, بَغْيًا بَيْنَهُمْ. And Allah considers this a crime. Because we are here to serve the word of Allah. We are not here to serve loyalty to our group. We're not here for that. And so He says, وَلَوْلَا كَلِمَةٌ سَبَقَتْ مِنْ رَبِّكَ إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ مُسَمَّى لَقُضِيَ بَيْنَهُمْ. Had Allah not declared that there's a time where these people will be punished for what they do, their decision would have been made immediately, meaning they would have been executed and they would have been taken to hellfire immediately. But Allah says, no, I'm going to let them get away with it for a while. But you know, that's in the akhirah. What's going to happen? That's in the next life. What's going to happen in this life? In this life, something terrifying happens. وَإِنَّ الَّذِينَ أُورِثُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ بَعْدِهِمْ لَفِي شَكٍّ مِّنْهُ مُرِيبٍ. This is why this was about our generation and the next generation. Allah says, when the first generation, the earlier generation, is obsessed with these kinds of disagreements, they're obsessed with these kinds of arguments, this is what they do. Then you know what happens in the next generation? In the next generation, you have they come up and they say, man, my elders and these elders in the masjid and these elders in these guys that give talks, all they do is hate each other. All they do is fight each other. All they do is talk about this one's going to hell, this one's going to hell, this one's going to hell. I don't even know which one's right anymore. What should I do? Who should I follow? Because this one says this one's wrong, this one says this one's wrong. So you know what? This religion thing is way too confusing. I don't think I want anything to do with it. Because even the people who learn it can't agree. So who am I? I don't even know much. So I don't think this Islam thing is for me. You guys can do your fighting. I'm not into it. I'm backing away. The next generation comes along and actually distances itself from the religion and thinks if the religion was such a uniting force, if this was a truth that everybody can come under its shade, then how come the people that are more knowledgeable are the ones that fight the most? How come they're the ones that disagree the most? How come they're the ones who create the most divisions? If that's the case, then you know what? There must be something wrong with the religion. And so the ayah says that those who inherited the book after them are in doubt about it. They are in doubt. The next generation starts doubting the deen itself. That's the punishment of Allah for the people who create these kinds of factions and disagreements.